down on film, you know that you're up against an awfully fast, shoot it at every spot, and a tenacious defensive team. We're seeing it all on display so far. Last guy down will purposely take his time to see, can I get a step-in three as that last guy across the timeline. Right now, both are holding serve. Little double-up action. They go to this 4 or 5 times a game, Alabama. All to isolate on the inside. That's all it is. It's fake motion up top. All they're going to do from the corner knocks it down. What a piece Jaden Shackelford is. And with all these seniors graduating, the mantle is likely going to be passed on to him. Well, he gets lost even in the conversation now. From Illinois out of the Big Ten is right there in terms of how they attack the game. Mark Vital out of the Big 12 with Baylor, but I think Herb Jones is going to get in somebody's camp. He'll be drafted, and he will get somebody's.
It's different in this possession due to Georgia's defense. Shot clock winding down at 3. Barely got one away, and it's off the mark. And last touched by Georgia.
Arms and hands and quick. Create a lot of turnovers with their excellent defense.
Primo all the way around the baseline, off the mark. Rebound cleared off by Kyer, and he's looking to run. I had stumbled on the inside. Back comes Petty in Alabama. Here's a 3, off the mark, and Georgia with a rebound. It is Jackson.
The ball every possession to make a play, Red. Other guys right now struggling with the ball.
Well, that looked like a walk, but no call. Missed shot anyway by Primo.
He shot that from his hip.
Boy, when he told us the other day, you know, 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon on CBS, we're ready to play. He wasn't kidding around, I guess.
He's excited for sure.
So his single season assist record continues to rise every time he drops one to his teammates. 3 rims out for Primo, and Eder gets it. Jackson Eder from Woodstock. He took that one from Woodstock almost. 3 on the other end, rims out. Georgia, loose ball rebound, kick out to Eder. Advantage of it. Nope, he threw it away. Right back to Shackelford, who was the last guy down court. And the second chance by Primo. The lead cut to 6. Off balance, but it goes for Primo. He's had a couple of those today.
Yeah.
Garcia won't go. And here is Herb Jones. 3-pointer by Primo. Garcia will clear it for the Dogs. Misses an open 3. Here comes Shackelford.
Yep. I coach against Wimp Sanderson. The NCAA tournament, 85-86. We came in second, Fred.
Wimp was a beauty.
He was a piece of work. Alabama's got to pick it up now, right? They want to play with fire.
Primo for 3. Got it.
Wow.
That's more like what you see out of Alabama. They average 14 seconds of possession. Guys into a really fun team to watch.
Exactly. I mean, certainly Herb Jones, a terrific player. Petty's excellent player, but he got some plays that fit his style. Athletic, they can run up and down. So
allows Flanagan on the wing, 22, to be more of a scorer.
Now Flanagan has been elite off the costly turnover. Quite a bit of air behind that one, Josh. Now what a year it's been for Alabama. The offense just outstanding all year. It felt like only a matter of time. They clinched the. It's Bama ball up by 13. Corner 3. Primo, little strong. And Bama. Josh Primo. No.
Pretty, but they all count the same.
Amen. And those points got to, really add up over the game. Plus, it wears you down and it can get people in foul trouble. And we've talked about Herb Jones being in foul trouble.
Both teams struggling to score early on, but not on that possession. Charles Bassey, and now you know why NBA scouts love number 23 in black. At 6'11", he can run the floor. Her alter, Jordan Rawls can't get it to go, but then the follow.
So what do you notice already, Mike? The Achilles heel for Alabama, half of the buckets scored have been Charles Bassey getting on the off.
Who says you can't have it all? Now is the time for 5G. Now is the time to join T-Mobile.
Back in the starting lineup for Nate Oates. First three from Alabama. That's off. Offensive rebound. No defense for Arkansas. Late defense. Then the block was made. And a good 11th charge drawn by Herb Jones. That is second on the team. Good pass and the first bucket made by Joshua Primo underneath for Alabama. We talk about Justin Smith. He was hurt that first matchup against Alabama. Having him back may be an X factor. Pull up three, way short, air ball on the 4,000 at Bud Walton Arena. Moses Moody no good. And how about Bruner going up out of Yale to transfer and takes it away from Vanover. Hard drive, that's good. Joshua Primo. Alabama now up by 4.
The losing record goes into Chapel Hill, and won't be surprised if that next bracket, North Carolina is sitting there out or last 4 in.
Primo's three no good. Battle Gary kept it alive.
And tough plays to get himself to the free throw line. Arkansas has got really good individual pieces that are unique, and they blend together really, really well. They will not be easy to handle in Nashville, Ravi, or...
Very seldom do I feel like Bama hunts shots.
Free ball from the corner is knocked down by the talented freshman.
Again, I think he is just now figuring out how good he can become.
Pride of Pflugerville, Texas. Had to do a little deep dive on Pfluger to pull off a major upset, up by 4.
You know, Mike, as much as coaches want to harp on it all the time, this kind of start by Alabama doesn't really...
Points, and there to pick up the slack is Maxwell Evans, the senior. Ty ball game.
Maxwell Evans has had some big-time scoring games, hasn't he? That 29 against South Carolina, the 20 at Mississippi.
Jones cut off, kicks it back out to the top. And Shackelford. 3 from the top. Another miss from downtown for Alabama.
Shackelford flies in for the rebound. Here's the freshman Josh Primo. Kept the dribble, but missed it right at the rim. Difficult shot. Ellis make it Primo for 3.
I mean, they're not supposed to be. The Razorbacks doing a good job with such a new team, bunch of transfers for Eric Musselman. Of course, Moses Moody putting in work as well.
That's really impressive considering
based on what he does for his team outside of that.
Primo offline. I forgot to mention he's Primo, the freshman, is a veteran looking like a veteran-esque.
You roam around a little bit, just does so many things for this Alabama team, and really has become the identity for their defense, and somebody they could point to from last season and say, this is how we want to play.
I think this line accelerates again. Rebound Reese. They're knocking on the door of 100. Primo, that one was erased. And Kamara gets credit. Here's an open one. Keon Ellis. Primo hits the leaner. Boy, he's definitely having an all-freshman station.
Yeah, it's certainly not due to a lack of talent, but sometimes it can be the mental confidence. And I thought this was a bounce-back game for a lot of guys' confidence, including this guy right here, Primo. Look out.
It's not been bad. It's not a normal Frank Martin defense. We know that. But he doesn't have the normal Frank Martin type team. They are not a physical squad. They shy away a little bit of contact.
In the corner, Lawson. Rebounded by Petty.
Both of these teams will get out and run and try to score early and often if they can, but both teams get back well tied against a shorter, smaller Alabama squad.
And they are with Levesque at 6'10", already with 8 Three ball goes from Josh Primo. Freshman.
Quinterly, or it might have been Shackelford, put it on the floor. He's got a guy wide open in the corner. Make the extra pass.
Three ball good. Josh Primo's got a couple of long ones. U-Play is one of the key amateur basketball programs north of the border. It's led by Dwayne Washington, and there's an Alabama connection to that. There's another three from Primo right on cue.
What he looked at was only on offense, but what we could see game in, game out was defensively they were different. And it is pretty obvious if you're going to play for Nate Oates, sure, you like the up-tempo, and sure, you like to be able to. You must put a body on Bryant.
South Carolina gets a stop.
If you reach too many times, officials, they may not know who you are. They're not looking at the number, and they call that whistle kind of quickly.
Saying reputation can 0.6% as a team from the free throw line. Wow. Quinterly follows his miss. Tapped out, another opportunity for Alabama. Glanced off the backboard, no good. Wide open attempt from deep, early.
Hey, Tom, I'd have a question.
The bigs inside, we know about the front line, but your front line can only be that great when they're not getting double teamed on a consistent basis. And right now, that's something they're.
Keon Ellis checking in, grab the rebound, and now Quinterly, the transfer. Out to Primo. Horkler hit the deck hard.
But when you think about what they have to do, and they'll most likely go into the NCAA tournament undefeated, because I'm not sure anyone will beat them in the non-conference. But playing in the conference play, I'm
open, look out. And Shackelford skies again. Really good rebounding guard.
Two of them for Shackelford. At this point, Shackelford needs to just shoot it. Again, he's going to get all the rebounds. Primo's not shy. I love it. The young fella, the freshman, not shy at all. 2 for 1.
Under a minute to go. Lead is 9. Friars need a couple of stops here. They'll get one as Duke collects the board. Watson now with 17. Lead back to 10. From the corner, make it 13. Primo coming up later tonight. 7th place game. Wildcats have played some good basketball. Nothing to show for it. See if that changes this evening. Primo launches. That's a 3.
To be successful, you know, they're adjusting to the new point guard in Javon Quinterly. And if Quinterly continues to make plays like this, eating the dribble penetration and using the dribble penetration.
Not even 4 minutes in, already 20 points on the board. It's two fast-paced programs.
Well, and this is what you come to expect from Alabama, is a bunch of threes going up, and normally they make how she would fight, and I'm glad to see that Crystal has done a great job so far beating cancer and continuing to fight that good fight.
Bake Zhang, a strong finish at the rack. That's just our second.
Josh Primo, the heralded freshman, off to a very good start for him. 5 points in this game right now, but Alabama struggling on the defensive end of the floor to get a stop versus UNLV.
Right now, tied back in front after the 4-point play. But there were a lot of mock drafts suggesting that John Benny was going to be a guy maybe selected into the first round, second round. He tested the NBA.
Roy, it's similar to having a great running game in football, which I know you know a whole lot about. And having a great running game in football allows you, when you have that passing attack, which will.
Hamilton was rejected. I think that was Petty. And now Jones in transition. Primo, there it is. Count it.
But he got it. It was a couple possessions late, but
Jimmy V. How about this? The breakaway. Grill with the ups. Warming up. Heating up, Corey.
A breakaway grill. I like it. Not a rollaway grill, but a breakaway.
Your way home. Exceptional offers won't last. The BMW Road Home Sales Event is going on now. Hurry in to receive a credit of up to $3,500 on select models through December 31st.
Now back at Calipari and company didn't have enough bodies, and they said, well, it was a 6'9" kid that plays baseball. They went down, talked to him, and he said, are you kidding? I would love to play for the Wildcats.
Well, he loved
up that short. Another chance, and Jackson couldn't get it to go.
And that was the big concern. I know it's can we offensive rebound with that.
Jackson picks up another block. He's terrific at that. Lands hard on his own elbow, and his body clears out, and then right there.
Wow. He plays hard, though. He really plays hard. He gives his best all the time. You know, I look
at three. He had 22 against Auburn. That's the point of this team, how deep they are.
He played really well against Auburn. In fact, Bruce Pearl told me he was a difference maker. And if he gets going now.
It's just not a wheelbarrow big enough for me to take your check, deposit in the bank.
Struggle. Every offensive. He spent lots of time over at practice. Coach Saban was terrific to him. This year, because of the pandemic, not as much. But he said really he went there with a reap in and learn as much as he
picks it up. He'll go in, lay it up and in, and a foul.
Tell you one thing I love about him. Plays with great tenacity. Plays hard, athletic. Can't teach all the athletic ability. Football, the way they're playing tonight, football's going to be secondary to the hoops. Come on, right. It's becoming a basketball school.
Nick Saban, move over. Here's Nate Oates. So, you know, in the last minute, you mentioned, and I think most
in this affair.
Two players vastly improved from freshman to sophomore year. Another three from Bama and Josh Primo, the heralded freshman out of Toronto. Currently as a number 2 seed, according to our own Joe Lenardi. Kick out pass, sets up another open three and another make for Primo.
It's one of the challenges by Mississippi State tonight.
I do, inside hook shot. They really have two centers, Mississippi State does, with Adu and Tolu Smith. Tough reverse layup. Can't find the mark.
Now this is the kind of start that State needed. They, no question about it, they're trying to establish block to block and win that area first. 50 opportunities. That time the Bulldogs claimed it.
Great ball movement, sets up an open three, and that's Alabama's offense at its finest. Shot clock at 7 for Jones. Three ball from the corner is knocked down. Alabama hitting them from trying to make it 8-0 in SEC play. Primo, oh nice up and under move and over the shot blocking Adu.
That is expand.
Smith lost it. Bama numbers. Reese alley-oop. No. Follow. No.
I didn't like.
We got a foul. They will not foul, and Bama will get an easy deuce. And that is your dagger. Alabama is going to improve to 8.
Like Kentucky, Alabama lost 2 of their stars in that game in Jones and Bruner hasn't come back with a torn meniscus yet. Good inside pass.
Simple little give-and-go basketball. And coming off the bench, Ulis and Booker. I mean, come on. 4 guards like that. I mean, you don't, oh, look at the layups. Oh, my God, Carl. There's no defense, Carl. Carl, simple little cuts without the ball.
You gotta believe one more of those miscues on defense, Dickie. There'll be a timeout. There's a 3. You see Calipari, his hands are up, and there is the timeout after Primo.
I would have loved to see Florida with Keontae Johnson. I think a difference maker. Talking a major difference maker.
No doubt. That's another contested 3, but that one finds the bottom, and that time it's Petty.
NCAA tournament right now. I mean, that's not even on the table. You got to talk about just getting better and better with each game.
Primo stepped into that one, no good. Look at who gets the rebound. Herb Jones, if he...
Exactly right, Carl. Coach Ravitch right on top of it. Had an open look, nobody there, and he goes taking a wild shot in the lane.
Speaking of wild shots, Primo not a good 3. How about 4 of 4?
Vescovi is so good with that stroke. Right at 44% now on the year. He's not the quickest guy, Ravi, but wisdom equates quickness. And that's what Vescovi does to you.
This is a 3. They continue to really struggle from 3. They're now 2 of 7. Back comes Bama. Nice take and an easy layup. Ties the game up at 14 all. Good move by Fulkerson out of the timeout. He scores only the 6th basket and 22 shots for Tennessee. Contested 3, and that one drops. And Alabama pulls within 1. Tough shot, but he settled that time.
Yeah, Rick Barnes has had to remind Fulke on more than one occasion this year who he is as a player. And who Fulke is as a player has nothing to do.
Quinterly, the Villanova transfer. Wide open 3, Primo. Look out, Primo, prime time, and they lead by.
He's another guy that is a kind of a post player in a guard's body.
Quinterly kick, another 3 on the way, and they weren't shooting the 3s in the first half, and they've missed.
His hips stayed wide, stayed low. Johnson just powered right through all that stuff.
Petty, corner 3, Primo, short, follows, collects. And on the shot clock, Quinterly, the bounce. Shot is short, and rebound by James.
Tennessee. That rebound into the hands of Keon Ellis.
Let's remember, Dave, all this being done without Herbert Jones in the basketball game for Alabama.
Tapped around. Nice pass inside, and Primo, the freshman, out of Toronto, Ontario. LaMelo White at 6'8", 235, the grad transfer. 7-point game, 8-point game. And LaMelo White just hit the...
Love Buffin's attitude, and now look at this aggressive 1-3-1 zone that Ole Miss is playing.
Strong move to the basket by Primo, met there by a couple of red jerseys. Basketball in tied basketball games this year. Quinterly drives in the lane, kick out. That won't drop. Tapped around, and Alabama gets another possession.
Game experience from Villanova. He's playing with confidence tonight.
Boy, just too easy right now for Alabama as Josh Primo gets his own miss. And
very difficult team to defend. Nice extra pass.
Shackelford can't get it to go. The tap by Primo out of bounds. Alabama will retain.
On his chart. Here's the thing on it, though. You know, there's times you can get really lucky. I play with a great shooter named Chris Lofton, and if I checked in the game and he just made 3 straight threes right when I checked in, it was like
tied up. Pat Adams says we got to jump. Oh, Pat Adams getting in the middle. Come on, guys. We'll get my man Pat Adams in the mix. 66-49, 10th ranked team in the country, up 17.
You saw Aaron Jordan, the SID for Alabama, in the background there. And we asked him earlier today, we said, hey, what was it like covering that epic performance in Alabama? He said, look, I saw extra opportunities for Alabama.
14-2, Alabama run. Davis misfires. That's how quick Alabama can go from rebound to transition 3. Jalen Tate lines it up. Gary secures the board.
String of makes on the other end.
And he misfires. 3 of 6 from deep. He leads all Alabama scorers with the 11. He's 1 win shy of what would be his 719th in his career. That would tie him for 20th all time on the all-time D1 wins list. So he's Arkansas basketball.
And Kevin, as you look at Arkansas, you know, things have just changed so quickly, because last time we had them was literally last Saturday, and it was a similar situation. Certainly not in the SEC, but they're one of the most confident teams in the country right now.
Alabama soon to push its win streak to 7 straight. SEC now.
Just can coach anywhere.
And an interesting approach right down. I mean, they'll play some 5 out an awful lot. They shoot the 3 and they beat you off the bounce to the rim.
You know, Beth, when you watch Alabama,
Sharif looking for his first basket. In fact, both sides looking for a bucket. And the swat in the lane from Williams. That triggers the break. Cooper bothered on the shot. Terrific hustle by Jones to get back. Wow. The hesitation, the kick, Primo got it.
See all the help that came when you don't guard your own.
On Tuesday night. Shackelford finds Primo. That's his second triple.
Boy, that was just...
Urban Dictionary on line one for you, Dan. As Primo has it swatted by Cambridge. Petty, an open look.
And man, he fits in perfectly. He just, he looks like he belongs. One of the great players in class of 2021.
Well, there you go.
How about that?
Primo.
Who was the #1 point guard in the class next year. He reclassified and has really struggled. But Primo, look at this.
Going for #4 at the heat check. Can't get that one to drop. And here comes Sharif.
Penetrated a little and then backed it up and read it.
Primo going to try again. Already his 8th shot of the first half. And he's...
I mean, everybody is yelling, find Primo.
Yes.
Well, it's easy to find. He's got the ball.
One-hander there by Primo. That won't fall, so it will go to the Tigers.
2 turnovers in a row. That can't happen for Auburn.
Primo back into the lane. He is having himself a first half. 5 for 10.
Ball player. You know, you make a bunch of threes on Saturday. You got another game Tuesday. You know, you're probably still a little hot. Look at Primo.
Oh, missed from... He was too close on that one. All his buckets have been...
3. But Jones has got it going, doing everything else.
Keon Ellis leading the break. Numbers again. Cardwell got a piece of that one just before it hit the window, and it will go to Auburn.
That was a...
See, is Cam Thomas at LSU, one of the top scorers in the country.
That's goaltending. That hit the backboard and then got blocked.
A break for Auburn. 3 in and out.
You know, it's
Primo.
When Cooper doesn't handle it, Auburn really struggles in half court. You saw a bad shot there by Frank.
With the ball bounces off his knee, a collision. Tigers come out with it. Cardwell not demonstrating the point guard skills you would hope in that situation.
Ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
We got a 1-point game here at Auburn with Kentucky on Tuesday night. The Tigers looking for their first SEC win with the arrival of Sharif Cooper, and they will show the full court press here.
Not a bad move to trap.
Petty picking up where he left off, and his confidence has just skyrocketed in his shot selection under Nate Owens.
5 for 5. It's Primo with a 3. Start to see.
Fine is the understatement of the night. This is as good of a start you can ask for.
6 triples in the first 4 minutes. Primo in the corner. That's good.
It's just
13. Shackelford breaking down Watford. Quinterly out to Primo, lines it up, back-to-back threes. 14. Shoots at a high percentage clip. Converts his first basket. In the corner. Book it. Primo, you know, from the player perspective, some of the veterans, you know, what do you expect in terms of their voice in the locker room in a game like this? There's Primo again.
Well, whatever was said hadn't really worked.
29-point advantage. That's Primo's first miss. Remember, Alabama.
The system he had there, and it's followed him in a successful way everywhere he's been.
Primo, Jones trailing, lays it up and in.
It's Alabama. Something that's already ugly is going to get uglier.
Shackelford with the handles. Primo wide open.
The team that certainly can't be on there, they've only played 6 games, but I like South Carolina. I wish they could have an opportunity to build more of a resume. They've had disruption after disruption, and they came down here and played this LSU team extremely close.
It's almost an unblockable shot. for Trey Mann. I thought last year Trey Mann might not make it at the college level. Just his body language, his confidence. But this cat went to work now. Some games that teams that are good.
Shackelford corner three, no good. Offensive rebound. They'll fire another one up. That's off. And off the rim, another offensive rebound.
Give up a wide open three.
There's another turnover and an Alabama run out. Good kick, three. Off the iron. Look at Reese. He had it and lost it.
Mention Texas, Houston, and Wisconsin. All three of those teams are in the top 15 in both adjusted offense and defense and defensive efficiency.
Working for Lon Kruger, he just makes it easy. He play hard, you play, you don't, you don't.
Just so comfortable in that chair as Alabama gets its first bucket, and the freshman Joshua Primo.
I don't like Primo. Get the same thing. They're very solid. Everybody plays hard, and they're going to share the basketball.
Man, Iwakor with a miss from the free throw line for Oklahoma. Usually a very good free throw shooting team.
Against Providence and UNLV. They'll need to defend equally as good here tonight.
Primo checks in, knocks that one home. Big basket. That rebound into the hands of Alabama. Back the other way goes Primo. And this young man is showing you some of the skill set. Shackelford off to Primo. Rebound to the Paladins.
By Marcus Foster running the floor, the 6'4", 210-pound native out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Largest lead of the game for the Paladins. Long's first basket. The 9-0 Paladin run. That three is no good. And a foul underneath. That's going to go where Jones gets it to Petty. Primo. There's Jones. Offensive rebound. The tap.
After thinking about a three, Quinterly gets it back from Bruner. Finding Primo. He's open. Can't connect. Basketball will go to ET. Hurting what Alabama wants to do on offense.
Yeah, I think they're mixing it up and just trying to throw different looks at Alabama right now, and Alabama's trying to
back to a 1-point game under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Primo too strong, but there's Reese. Leads the team, averaging 15 points per game, and he knocks that down. Now he's in double figures with 12 points against the Tide. Alabama trying to answer, can't on the three-pointer there. As Primo is just off the mark, running the offense. 7 assists in this ball game.
Yeah, that's a big number for the point guard position, and you just see it just trickling down to the other guys by him creating opportunities for.
Like diving on the floor, doesn't it bother you that you're getting your tail beat by Herb Jones every single game? But I think they're going to be in. Herb Jones is still going to win the hustle award, but Jacksonville State has this thing down to 10.
And Martin Robe leading the way for Jacksonville State right now with 8 points. He's got those 2 threes.
You're going to have some challenges in the nature of college basketball now. It's hard to find a team that's experienced together because of the amount of transfers and newcomers in junior college press conferences.
Or any post-game tweets. Both are very good.
And Alabama lost the handle. Quick hands by Nick Honor, who's been so valuable.
Jones all the way. The kick out. Extra pass. Petty for three. Got it.
Great offense by the Crimson Tide. They share the...
Rojas with the rebound. We got a minute to go in the half. Lob underneath. Tough catch on the baseline. Good looking play by Petty.
And he leads good and no offensive glass work from Arkansas. There's Bruner. And
what a start, huh?
Yes, it
was. He's done a terrific job, Ravi, Dave, of handling the blur screens, the smoke screens, the ghost screens of Alabama. Haven't talked about it so far in this game. But Alabama will run an offensive player right at the ball. Like it's
Bryant going against Petty in the paint. Couldn't get it to the rim. Bama will try to push it. Here's Jaden Shackelford. Off the window and in. First bucket for Shackelford, and Bama's tied it. We'll try to go inside of Levesque from a bad angle. Another chance for Bama to run. 3-on-1. Shackelford again.
I think, Tom, I'd keep it in Woods' hands. He's confident off the dribble. He's getting where he wants to go. And he's making the mid-range jump shot.
There's an answer from Quinterly. He's in a double fit.
Second half now. Tide lead it by 9. Shackelford from deep. Unlimited range for number 5 in white.
Wow, I can't believe that. I mean, get my guy Farnham and get my guy Greenberg. They'll get the ball to him in the post.
And that's too easy, isn't it, right there on the other end for Jordan Bruner, the interior defense.
For kids that are freshmen.
Nice Jones ball fake. Yes, it was. And a good pass down low. Reese will launch a three, and he'll knock it down.
Here they go, baby.
Stop of this Alabama run. Ball's hot, is it not?
It is. Petty high arcing three. Their 5th three of the second half.
In the first half. Step back three. Jaden Shackelford.
You really stuck Herbert Jones back in the basketball game. If you're Ole Miss, you want to try to get him fouled out of this basketball game.
Inside to Bruner. Got it to go. That snaps a 7.
He has not played particularly well since that LSU game.
And 5th in the country in threes made per game.
Well, he settled into a rhythm quickly. Yeah, I don't think he's falling out of it anytime soon. 11 points for Petty. Meanwhile, Note, head fake and drive. Wide open lane. He did that double pump, and that didn't give game. The big win for Alabama over Ohio State. 6 titles over the last 12 years for the Tide. And never before seeing footage.
Lose attitude, even when things didn't look great for him on the recruiting trail. He never felt like he was out of it. He continued to chase his dream. And his
Right, let's see what he does here. Look at that.
Poked it loose. Got the trap. Petty got it inside.
Well, the freshman Cooper relaxed on defense. He did not get to...
He's been shooting it better. We've seen, Dan, the versatility, the ability to score, to rebound, to run.
Omar Payne, he caught it with the left, laid it in with the right.
Really good job by Trey Mann to turn the corner. Look out, predetermined what he wanted. Yeah, look out. Good gracious.
Blow by Bruner. Juwan Gary has come into the game. He wears number 4, the forward, a freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina. And that's the way Alabama likes to play.
He's looking for some guys to bring energy. We know the success that he had at Buffalo. He didn't do that, not trying to get his players motivated. Big shot.
3. Shackelford buries that one at 36%. Get it going. Just not his night to this point. But here's an opportunity underneath. Kept alive by Rojas. And the layup is good from Keon Ellis as he slashes through the lane.
Giving out in Maui, it's getting blasted by North Carolina, and then sitting around trying to enjoy turkey afterwards. It's not really.
And Jared Haas telling us yesterday it's
A lot of what we saw from Kentucky yesterday, those 2-point shots, mid-range jumpers.
But Ravi, Nate Oates was in the ear of Herb Jones. That's not the three that they want. That was a first side, no paint touch three.
Put back, trying to get another rebound, but it's Petty's this time. Primo. Walked with it.
If Auburn's going to score, how Auburn's going to do anything, and they score a bunch of points and really, have the game in control the whole time. Yep. And so just 2 head scratchers there.
Across the country. Who says you can't have it all? Now is the time for 5G. Now is the time to join T-Mobile.
Here, he's been begging to be on camera now for about an hour and a half. Mike Morgan, Damian Fishback, this is Baxter, and he's a huge college basketball fan. He can't get enough. Each coach has been there the exact same amount of time. The only difference, really, Alabama will shoot a few more threes. There's a turnover. Moses Moody, 2-on-1. Is it in the paint? Nice dish, and that's a little lay-in from Jalen Williams.
Yeah, and where is Justin Smith for Arkansas? He got 1 point in 21 minutes. Has been no factor. He's grabbed 5 or 6 rebounds, but
everybody who follows college basketball knows what a winner he is. He does so many things that don't show up in the stat book, and that has followed him to where now that he's leading the team in all those categories, it's just icing on.
And he has proven that.
And he really emphasized the fact of how hard he's been playing recently. The second half of Missouri and then the 2 halves of South Carolina, he said, is the hardest and the most consistent.
I don't know how that gets better, but you need Jones and Petty to score.
Yeah, this is their team. Shackelford, all these guys can do some good things, but if Alabama's going to be right there in the hunt, Petty and Jones.
These teams will get out and run and try to score early and often if they can, but both teams get back well defensively. A forced shot by Alabama. There are times, Tom, when you struggle as a team.
To buy to Friday. That's if the tournament schedule stays as written. And what did we learn from Greg Sankey? If you're writing things down, you might as well do it.
Grill gets it back behind the back. Sends it right back to Bama and Primo, who has his pocket picked. And Grill, the easiest bucket of his career.
And Nate Oates telling us that a number of NBA scouts are inquiring now about Herbert Jones. There's a rough turnover there. Alley-oop pass.
I took a walk with Chris and the dog Lila. That's what I did when it was 31 degrees. Kentucky's hanging around here, Dick. They've changed their defense, and Alabama's turned it over here a handful of times.
You come home, they get beat. Florida, same scenario. Vanderbilt, same scenario. And could this be deja vu again? Hey, just ask Missouri and Tennessee. Missouri lost to them by 20.
A ball too long, offensive rebound, and that ball is thrown away. And that'll get Rick Barnes to his bench right away. The offensive rebound from Alabama. And that one is no good. Loose ball on the floor. Vescovi goes to the floor first, can't come up with it, and out of bounds. On the receiving end of that patch was Joshua Primo. And then elevating from the free throw line and missing is Keon Johnson. Olivier Kumwa, 13 into the game for the Volunteers.
That have accepted their role. They haven't fought coaching. They're not stubborn in terms of who they think they are as a player, and have completely bought in on this end of the floor for Tennessee. It is very uncommon.
Turnover for Alabama.
These matchups are not the same at all without the capacity crowd. Knowing this place would be rocking otherwise as well.
Yeah. Moment winning its 7th straight game. It's at the top of the SEC and vying for its first league title in nearly 2 decades.
The weight room should be kind to him. And it's been quite a journey from Nebraska to Alaska to West Virginia to Georgia. And now starting out in college with
Well, you see there, you just can't lunge through the passing lane. You can't let him beat you away from ball screens. You keep him in front. He's going to do that, though. This kid is terrific. He is going to be as good a lob from the freshman to Cambridge. And you said it, with his fingertips. Oh, man. think it's not fun playing with Cooper? I mean, run. Man, if you're going to beat Auburn, assuming Cooper's smart enough to stay, you better do it this year because Thor.
Their really top point guard, Javon Quinterly, off the bench. We found out a few hours ago he's not available tonight. He is out, so there'll be no Quinterly. And a turnover on a travel. And all of his own shot. Florida back within 3. Joshua Primo, too much dribbling and a turnover. DeRuggi lost the ball.
He kept his pivot foot alive and stepped into a shot at the rim. Very well done.
Joshua Primo, boy, it is just green light, man. They get in that paint and they are going to the rack.
Light ahead. Davion Harmon is going to be more aggressive because of Reeves being out. And what I liked about it is both of these guys, Harmon and Harkless, are being more aggressive on the defensive end. That's huge in this game.
Especially
have to find out where he is. He's already had a season high of 26 points, career high of 27 points, and Furman relentless on the defensive end.
Well, the Crimson Tide offense getting rolling. Josh Primo in the starting lineup today as we take a look at the Crimson Tide starting 5 and a quick turnover trying to pass it to the top of the key. Sloan a nice move and he'll put the Bucks in front.
They experienced a lot of success, so he's just trying to build a culture around ETSU and keep it up.
Primo traveled with the basketball and the Bucks will get it back.
Yeah, that was a tough position.
Going to work for the Crimson Tide. Brenner thought about it from outside. Here's Primo attacking, finding Jones, but an offensive foul.
Yeah, and that's one of those decisions right there. Alabama team.
Fast break chance for the Tide. Primo will let everything set up, and an aggressive steal for the Bucks. Sloan right to the rim.
It's a huge steal by Sloan.
By Omax Prosper.
Boy, he's a good-looking kid, isn't he, Mike?
Yeah.
Long, got a nice build to him, active.
Speaks 4 languages.
Zaire continues to impress, but he is not getting sped up. Regardless of the defense, he's getting to his spots, great footwork, elevating over the defense, a 6'8" frame. He's
just kind of roaming like those great free safeties that Nick Saban's had in Tuscaloosa over the years.
Well, you think about Devontae Smith and what he meant for the football program and his voice that he...
7 to shoot. Fagan slips and now drives. Almost had it ripped out of his hands, and now they do rip down the rebound. Primo clears the glass.
And Charles Bassey, who we know can score on the interior. The question is, how will Alabama respond? Will they double team? Will they try to dig down and make him uncomfortable? They have to do something.
Smaller lineup for South Carolina with Levesque on the bench in foul trouble. Reverse short and lost by Rojas. It'll be game count.
Brooks on the baseline. That floater around and out. Offensive board. He has it. Brooks goes up. That one was blocked underneath, and we are going to get a foul against Brooks. Herb Jones can't get it to go. He is absolutely running gimpily on that leg of his, and there's Jackson blocked at the rim by Alabama. Petty, Jones. Alabama is going to improve to 9-0 with a victory tonight. 21 seconds to go.
Free throw line late in the game has been
position offense. They will always have a guy that's a little bit late to the party. That trail threat is always there in place for Alabama. It's not just the big. The last guy down will purposely take his time to seek.
Yeah, Jimmy's prone to go into that gym around 3 in the morning. That's why no one ever sees him, but he's there so early. He's out grinding it. We just don't see him. 3 a.m. start for Jimmy. Here's the speed of their hands inside that paint is scary. There is nothing that comes easy. It's literally like trying to swarm some bees.
The shoot. Fagan slips and now drives. Almost had it ripped out of his hands, and now they do rip down the rebound. Primo clears the glass for Alabama. I'm trailing by 5 at the 11.5-minute mark. Wheeler pull up. Try to float one in there off the mark.
2 of 10 from the field. Flanagan on the bench. And Moore just went 0 of 2 from the stripe. So you miss all those bunnies at the rim. Plus
Smith, the 6'1" freshman out of Loganville, Georgia. Molinar not there, and both teams very, very cold right now. A little bit of a frustration foul.
The dream is alive.
And traffic by Jordan Bruner. Bruner tearing it away. He gets fouled. Alabama down by 3.
Jalen Tate and some dribbling from Justin Smith. He was hurt that first matchup against Alabama. Having him back may be an X factor. Pull up 3.
6'6" kid from Canada, reclassified. Quiet in the first half, can explode in the second.
They got to get Moody going. He missed that one off the back iron. Here comes Alabama.
Back for Alabama.
I thought the interesting part of that was most guys talk defensively, but he made a point to us to point out that he...
Down for Alabama.
Another hesitation by a shooter, that time Primo.
Strong take, but left short. Primo boards it for the Tide.
Wheeler, boy, difficult shot.
Now that he's, leading the team in all those categories, it's just icing on the cake. And I don't think anybody's going to give Herb Jones the Player of the Year award just based on stats. It's going to be based on what he does for him. I don't know where the weakness is on this team.
Off the Kamara miss. Alabama always.
Corner 3 by Kobe Brown doesn't fall when you've got to sprint back with.
Of the stars for Alabama. Recently Petty's really struggled. Herb Jones has 5 points. He's 2 of 5. He's clearly dealing with back issues, and unless you're going to sit him down.
Normal. Another turnover.
Active hands by Bryant. Going against Petty in the paint. Couldn't get it to the rim. Bama will try to push it. Here's Jaden Shackelford.
His ability to not only make plays for himself, but for his teammates. And you can tell he enjoys passing the ball. He's a point guard, but the fact that he's 6'7".
3 to shoot. Reeves launches. And Primo skies for the board. Jones. Corner 3. Grill gets it back behind the back. Sends it right back to Bama and Primo.
And you see both these teams playing with that sense of urgency as though they want to walk away with the win here this evening.
Well, think about Davidson. Davidson comes to the Camping World Maui Invitational here in Asheville, not far.
Away from the trap. That's going to be a jump ball. It'll be Kentucky basketball.
I want to give a tip of the hat tonight also to Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham and the kids with a big win over Kansas. And I'm saying to the end.
To 8, you'd hold Petty to 6, you'd hold Quinterly to 2. You feel pretty good about things, and then it's a freshman in Primo that scores 12. A lot of weapons for this Alabama squad. Second score bucket here, though. Things get rather interesting in a hurry. Open 3. Good opportunity, but Matthews can't connect.
With the ball, Askew, Boston, Mintz, Brooks, and Olivier Sarr. And that's Sarr who misses. They will have a chance, it feels like, to get some offensive rebounds. But they can't get that one. And here, Primo.
Alabama's not messing around and letting Tennessee get that phenomenal half-court defense set. They're attacking, they are staying spread, and look at this right now. Look how spread they are in the push. And that is available to play.
here tonight.
You know, when you watch Alabama, their pace typically can speed up their with the pace of this Alabama team.
Nadeem C, who's been out of action, getting some minutes here. He has missed 4 games and finally back on the floor for Ole Miss. 33%. I like my chances at that number.
Well, you think about it, the job he did at Arizona State, right? He shot 60% there, was second in Arizona State. Listen, I think if you're anyone that's watched college football this year, it is hard to go against the Tide for this college football playoff.
Others are out of touch. It's also another song stain.
Yeah, that would be me.
6 #1 hits.
Hey, I'm getting better. I'm learning every day. You guys have educated.
In a game LSU lost by 5 at home. See the numbers. Watford averaging 17 points a game. He's in the top 10 in the league in points, rebounds, assists. Congratulatory message. Even though Trenton had visited Alabama at one point as well. Missed them both.
Tough. He's worked so hard. As much as anything, that's just a little bit of lack of focus, not recognizing the big picture. Can't reach.
The slump for Thomas continues. Alabama averaged 88 points a game back then. George Lynn, by the way, hit one of the longest shots in NCAA history, playing at Foster Auditorium against North Carolina.
Now he's hanging out with Boogie Cousins in Houston.
You know, it just his refuse to lose attitude, even when things didn't look great. I tell you, and Connor Vanover's going to check out. That's a tough couple minutes for him, but he's going to continue to improve.
Ambrose Hilton last touched it. Arkansas basketball.
And Kevin, as you look at Arkansas, you know, things have just changed so quickly because last time we had
a young team, they lost almost everybody from last year's squad. Williams will try the 3. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Josh Primo, the freshman from Toronto. Seniors, Dan, making plays. They've got the experience on their side. Wow. Means a little bit more for
LSU defending the 3 and defending the red-hot Tide in transition. Trendon Watford had it swiped away by Josh Primo after the miss. Freshman from Toronto.
And trust me, I'm sure the message was sent, but they got to make sure they don't try to score their way back into the game because Cam Thomas is certainly capable of that, but they got to figure out, hey, let our defense lead to offense because if we try to get a shootout.
Unreal. Dan, you can dust off the record book. The SEC record for 3s in a game is
rebound kickouts. I mean, it has been ingrained in them again, those analytical numbers by Nate Oates.
Archer misses. 6 offensive rebounds for the Tide.
It's frustrating calling Castleton, I can tell you that.
Matt E. lost it on the way up. No foul called, and about face for Alabama, and that ball is not. They keep it alive. They get 5 on the shot clock, and it is a Appleby 3. No good. Alabama wins the hustle point on that play.
They go 2 for 1 right now, Alabama.
Last year, which was 4th in the nation. They led the SEC by a large margin. Herman shoots it so well, but Othwell can't get the basket. Here's Primo the other way.
64 points per game. David Sloan, the point guard, being guarded by Javon Quinterly. Early attempt at a three, won't go. Now the Crimson Tide offense getting rolling. Josh Primo in the starting lineup today.
How are they going to solidify themselves and get minutes? For Alabama, they don't need to add another three-point shooter or scorer. If you want to make a niche and carve out minutes for yourself, it's by about 30 out in Maui. You want to talk about the only way to ruin Thanksgiving out in Maui? It's getting blasted by North Carolina.
That for sure moving forward, but I mean, I just can't say enough about Javon Quinterly and what he's done in his first game for Alabama on his birthday tonight.
Well, one of the things.
Chance to cut it to 2 or 1 with a 3.
Just gotta try to get some kind of ball with this. I can't.
Give you the ability to manage your cash flow, reduce your borrowing costs, and improve your profitability. It's banking that grows when you do. First Bank Chicago, a division of First Bank of...
Beautiful action by Alabama to get the easy two.
Inside, Delaire was short. And you mentioned the lack of fans at Rupp. We're going to see the waiting for a year, transferring in from Villanova. Inside and short, putback is off the mark. Here come the Crimson Tide. It's Josh Primo, another freshman.
7 to shoot. Fagan slips and now drives. Almost had it ripped out of his hands, and now they do. Doesn't score. There's like a lid on that thing. Wheeler all the way up and under. South Air Wheeler.
Western Kentucky, I was talking earlier about not all mid-majors are built the same. Not many have a 6'11" future.
Essie, who we know can score on the interior. The question is, how will Alabama respond? Will they double team? Will they...
I'm going full out SportsCenter top 10 nominee on that slam. And I'm going to.
He goes.
So if Petty is shadowed, who do you go to here if you're Alabama? To have number 2 and White back for Alabama.
I thought the interesting part of that was most guys talk defensively.
You better make it if you're going to go from the mid-range. That is for sure. They got a bunch of layups and threes in half number 1. Speaking of
this game should feature a lot of points, many possessions. We heard the guys in the studio talk about the turnovers and how that
earlier this week. Missouri not afraid to run. I was anxious to see how Konza wanted to do in this ball game because we know Alabama
should not settle for the jumpers.
Woods fading away. Got it.
9:30. And it's a great week. College basketball continues.
Another one of my hoops.
Obviously, this is not his freshman year. He's back as a sophomore. I said, do you tell every one of those freshmen, if you come back, you're going to be a...
Got no waves out there in Notre Dame, I can tell you that. But they just got them something great. Not a good.
From 25 feet. I don't think that's what he'll be looking for the rest of the way. Boy, that's a great take. I mean, they're
shoot three-point threat. Once you start establishing that, then the ability to drive and score, if you can bring that into your...
I don't think they're being patient enough offensively. I think offensively, they're rushing situations around making that extra pass and get the good open look.
Alabama is going to improve to 9-0 with a victory tonight. 21 seconds to go.
Josh
Primo.
Alabama's not messing around and letting Tennessee get that phenomenal half-court defense set. They're attacking.
3-point shots. They lead by 2 as Tennessee will inbounds with 4 seconds to go.
2, 3, 4 dribbles. Let it go.
Knocks it to the rack. No fair totals.
Joyner inside. We were talking to Eric Musselman, Dan. He says, yeah, each night myself and Danielle, his wife, we flip on the NBA League on the SEC Network. You can also catch it anywhere on the app. Hey, Rick Barnes, by the way.
Or a discombobulation defensively.
It is now.
Jesus, that bad. the same arena you practice in looks totally different when it's set up for game day. Just something different about it.
Another offensive rebound. Harmon waits for Reese and misses. Finally, Alabama plucks the loose ball.
Tell you what, Oklahoma.
Monsanto had a three a moment ago. Steady runs in. Can't get it to fall. Basketball to Alabama.
Well, we've seen some of the depth that this Alabama team has. They are going to use that for sure moving forward. But, I mean, I just can't say enough about...
And a guy like Carol Lewis was creating shots for him.
Times these two teams played, Herb Jones made one shot in the ball game. He went and got 14 rebounds. A guy that lane as a defender. He's a free safety, #1 in white. Defensive player of the year. His voice is as good as I've seen in this league.
Probably their best overall player and the smallest guy on the court. Here he is on the drive. The kick out to Horn. PJ Horn off the mark up for Primo. And Eder gets it ahead for Georgia. Eder on the other end for three. Got it! Arms are so long, and there's just not a lot of passing lanes.
Yep.
Wheeler, kick out on the baseline. Three for Horn. Got it!
Well, here's one of them. Cambridge, book it.
Get something going to the basket here if you're Mississippi State. Try to get to the free throw line, get a power shot.
Johnson, and you know, you won't be in the bonus as long. You get 4 buzzer beaters, more time to adjust instead of just halftime. I really, and the pace is.
You become numb to it. 17 of them. Up that guy, Kobe Brown.
Violent, tough, strong. Vicious going to help that out just a little bit.
Your own £1,000,000. Warriors and Mavs tonight, 8:30 Eastern Time, part of our NBA strategy.
Here's Minaya with the drive. Kuznar will swing it. 7th Woods into the paint. And an extra pass for 3.
Basketball extremely well. Shares the ball well. And when you're struggling, good players, and it's good players, have a tendency to say
everybody would rather play versus
exactly
practice,
right.
It's a no-brainer.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. CC freshman last year. Solid season. He may be as solid a year as anybody's been in the Alabama uniform. Shoots it well.
Lawson. They already had an in on Primo, and they already knew about him, had been recruiting him hard. That caused some nervous moments that others would discuss. Good play by Woods to pick up the charge on Quinterly. Bryant makes space. Finds Kusnard. Bryant. Minaya.
I mean, come on now. You got to stop playing. You got to earn that reputation. Now it's the big time. We're playing players who really.
It's got to be a 3 now. 2 doesn't do you any good.
Stewart.
Big hits. Look at us, and you must dance. And we're dancing at the Grand Ole Opry, and he's singing to us. Yeah.
That's great.
It was an easy, simple one.
Kentucky's got a chance to grab a lead for the first time this year over Alabama.
Got to match up with that 3 ball. You don't want him to go a little spurt with the 3.
Anxious, and the loose ball gets into Javonte Smart's hands. Now a 1,000-point score as an LSU Tiger after his last bucket. Smart looking for more.
Alabama's lead back to 21. Jalen Williams fouled by Ellis on the bounce.
Well, it's a small thing. Yeah, and for the record, if I'm not mistaken, is this number 264, John Petty? He's earned it. Unbelievable accomplishment.
Start from deep. This is Cooper, McEachern, Georgia, looking for the assist. Not the second time.
But Jones is just doing what you want a guy to do. Primo's got it going shooting, but Jones has got...
That first half, same starting units to open up this second half. And a 3 look for Flanagan. He was their leading scorer with 13 in the first half. Flanagan, the 3, had to come across his body to shoot it. Shackelford on the move. Uses that elbow to create some space. Freshman coming up huge, Dan.
Oh, watch how he hesitated. See how he hesitated right there? And when the defense raises up, he explodes. And
4 for 4. From beyond the arc to in.
31-point advantage for the red-hot Crimson Tide.
Offensive team this year. Alabama, a much better defensive team than they were last year. So we'll see how it plays out. That's Castleton out at the top. First shot, 3-pointer. It's
well, I tell you what, he's got a team I think can play in the Final Four, can get to the Final Four.
Iwakor had it taken away, and there's a steal for Alabama. Harkless for Harmon. Alabama people stapled to with a good defensive team.
And a team that's used to winning.
Yep. See, that's important. Why is that important?
Well, Alabama's offense is number 41 in the nation. And like Nate Oates told us yesterday, this is my worst offensive team I've had in the past 4 years. Our defense is...
They're going to get post. And this team and this school used to championship. And that's on Quinterly trying to dribble right through Tolo Smith's. I think he tried to go through Smith's legs with the ball. That didn't work.
Those great free safeties that Nick Saban's had in Tuscaloosa over the years.
Well, you think about Devontae Smith and what he meant.
Here's a double team on Wheeler. Kyer looking to drive the baseline, and Georgia again had an opportunity.
Well from three-point land.
And Horn can't get a 3. Second chance, though, for Georgia. And that might not be a 3-pointer. That was a Duke before there's a shot going up, and that only took about 5 seconds to get Primo that one.
Yep. Their philosophy, Brad, if it feels like left.
I'm not going to say if Herb's on it because I'm not supposed to say that.
That's right.
But I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't have a reason to bring it up. Kamara.
Nice pass.
Trying to get around Petty. Underneath, Georgia, and 1.
In SEC play. Devin Cambridge can't answer. Jalen Williams. Now it's Johnson. Rise, fire. Akingbola. Third shot.
Goal, shot clock winding down here. They're only 2 of 13. But the question is, and the opportunity obviously is for Mississippi State.
Quinterly coming at him. He didn't have to jump. Just stood there. Quinterly fired it up, and it was Vanover who went and got the rebound. Here he comes. And he knocks it. That's what you need.
Tough shoe run by Arkansas.
Absolutely, he is a difference maker, a glue guy for this team. 8-1 since league play began with him. 1-4 without, and there's another 2.
Alabama fans, I don't think you will see him very long today, but they need to get him a few minutes in.
Inside, tapped around, and stolen away again. Nearly half of Vanderbilt's points. Maxwell Evans will throw a big game at you. Pippen, beautiful feed. And the further miss from downtown for Alabama.
Another hesitation by a shooter, that time Primo.
And the Crimson Tide are evidence of that.
Peter Burns is right on. We were both looking forward to this one. It will be a good one. Glad you're with us today. A foul and meet.
Your twos are not going to beat Alabama's threes.
Turnover.
A little bit ambidextrous on Herb Jones.
Look at the dexterity there. He's now has 19. That's tied his career high. Punch back. Now he has 13. 3 triples. Fagan. Oh, terrific play. That's the vet.
And that has followed him to where now that he's, leading the team in all those categories, it's just icing on the cake. And I don't think anybody's going to.
Primo offline. I forgot to mention he's also a pretty good 50% from the three-point line.
Inbound pass. Reese.
Smaller lineup for South Carolina with Levesque on the bench in foul trouble. Reverse short.
There's people that really understand how to play. Too many kids come on the collegiate level, have no clue what a good shot is, have no clue.
Molinaro, rise and fire. Missed it. Matthews offensive rebound, and it winds up somehow in the hands of.
No scores. Come on now. You got a little pride, man. Play some defense.
Davion Mintz a ball fake into the paint, and there is Isaiah Jackson.
Walford played, and Reggie Miller. You always Chris Mullen. You always felt it might go in. And after you're looking at these guys, there's a great chance it's going to go. Not familiar playing that zone. Like most people working on guaranteed don't work on that often.
Dante Allen came up.
Miami. Leonard Hamilton's got a team that really gets after it defensively.
Boston's been more aggressive with his drive, and that
they look to on the offensive end. Otford 7 on the clock. LeBlanc finding a cutting, Gaines in traffics from deep. Here's Smart.
Starting the year off right, because at Metro, there's 0 fees to switch, plus 4 free Galaxy phones, all with our lowest price on unlimited. Just
explanation. Nate Oates, no foul on the rebound after the foul tonight. Notching a victory at Florida. Watford off the mark, rebounded by Reese.
This is just a scary team to play against, no matter who you are in the SEC, because you know they're going to shoot.
Note attacking, lost it, and Penn.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon code.
Alabama remains as red hot as it was this week. The win inside Rupp Arena, and now
minutes, but somebody that he felt like could really step up in Bruner's absence, and you're right, he's given them some really solid minutes in this game.
As LSU tries to get back in this one.
Well, the do-it-all guy for Alabama has been Herb Jones, and early in this game,
dynamic freshman.
And when I worked for Coach Knight, going to get a sandwich was hard. But working for Lon Kruger, he just makes it easy. You play hard, you play.
College basketball leading you to 6 Eastern time. Kansas, which tried to come back at Oklahoma last Saturday. Sooners held them off.
These two teams played. Herb Jones made 1 shot in the ball game. He went and got 14 rebounds. A guy.
Big fella has improved substantially. Coach Brad Underwood's been doing it for a long time, and it's good to see him having some success.
And as chilly a look of Alabama from three-point land that I've seen all year long. Pippen, meanwhile, he's been rather quiet. He had those,
and you won't be in the bonus as long You get 4 buzzer beaters, more time to adjust instead of just halftime. I really, and the pace is.
There is a lot of basketball, and could you win 7 in a row, 6, 7 in a row? If Alabama can, they'll probably be a 1 seed because those teams in front of them, there's good.
They already had an in on Primo, and they already knew about him, had been recruiting him hard. That caused some nervous moments that others would discuss.
Screens, if, and this is an if he'll take it one more bounce and then make the defensive team guard him.
Zone, and Providence used to be a completely zone team, so he can teach it very well as Reeves comes off.
So obviously this is not his freshman year. He's back as a sophomore. I said, do you tell every one of those freshmen, if you come back, you're going to be a...
Games right here on the SEC Network. Florida picking up a win today. Ole Miss beating Texas A&M today. Pulls up another one there.
The State doing what they need to do to be the hang-around team.
Stewart.
Austin. Take a look right there. Look at the numbers. If they want to get playing time.
DJ Boston. That one's way too.
Got to match up with that 3 ball. You don't want him to go a little spurt with the 3.
10 points. Where does the offense come from for Tennessee?
That's who they've always been.
James pushed off offensive.
Right now. That 5-out, open the floor offense is allowing driving lanes. Tennessee was off balance by not overhelping in the first half.
Oh, I want the fastest 5G network.
Are we actually doing this again?
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives everyone the same great deal. Like
Alabama's lead back to 21. Jalen Williams fouled by Ellis on the bounce.
Well, it's a small thing.
Or a discombobulation defensively.
It is now.
Jeez, is that bad?
They are just really good on that initial side or when the ball's first coming down the floor.
To this half, quarter. Penetration off the glass is no good. And
doesn't score. There's like a lid on that thing. Wheeler all the way up and under. South Air Wheeler.
Certainly Mark Few undefeated. He's got to be the front runner right now, but
Drew and Howard and those guys.
Yep.
Little step back.
Western Kentucky, I was talking earlier about not all mid-majors are built the same. Not many have a 6'11" future.
Essie, who we know can score on the interior. The question is, how will Alabama respond? Will they double team? Will they?
The dream is alive. After a lay-in, the free throws we came out of break were missed. And we'll see you guys on the E-Trade halftime report. Jalen Tate, that's a hot.
Wheeler. Boy, different.
Beat the teams they're supposed to beat. Maybe drop a couple they're not supposed to beat. Razorbacks doing a good job with such a new.
11, a little after 11 now in Columbia, Missouri. So Nate Oates said we got to kind of adjust a few things. They have a meal about 3.5 hours.
The Gamecocks, but Shackelford still finished it.
They tried to go inside of Levesque from a bad angle.
Well, North Carolina is going to have to be better making shots. They're going to have to be better from the perimeter to try to take some of the pressure off of the bigs.
Toss that one in. But outside of that, a pretty impressive showing for a team that's trying to figure out life minus Kyra Lewis.
Brooks on the baseline. That floater.
Shot clock at 5. Molinар. Rise and fire. Missed it from their defense. This is not a one-trick pony by any stretch. It's good defense right there. That shot might have been.
Shoot three-point threat. Once you start establishing that, then the ability to drive and score, if you can bring that into your...
Alabama is going to improve to 9-0 with a victory tonight. 21 seconds to go.
Defensive player of the year.
Devon Quinterly had 6 threes first time these teams met, on his way to 22. Knocks down his first. Bama leads by 6.
Yeah, that is a pretty good name drop. But he told me, yes, absolutely, that you can.
Offensive foul.
Or as he should. But if he can get himself going defensively, the offense will come. And
Cooper. And one off the window.
But thing I like about Bruner, he just kind of is calm. You know, you can tell he's an older guy.
The mask. And envision exactly what he's saying.
The other day, he said, I'm not really a swearer, but I do swear at the floor.
Herb Jones came back. He declared for the NBA draft. Said, I'm going to go back to Alabama. Got a chance to maybe play.
If Mike White put a film edited together and show his guys at halftime, it would be how they're getting hammered. Their game, you come up into their airspace and they blow by. It's been that way from the tip.
Payne lead on
Oklahoma. It's trying to figure out how to not have that happen in the second half against a firework-driven Alabama three-point shooting team. There's that mid-range. Harkless using the shoulder for another offensive rebound. Harmon waits for Reese and misses. Finally, Alabama plucks the loose ball.
Tell you what, Oklahoma.
And making sure his guys are prepared to come out and perform well tonight.
Brewer lost the basketball. Alabama turns over the Bucks. Monsanto had a 3 a moment ago. Steady runs in. Can't get it to fall. Basketball to Alabama.
Johnson's fade away too long.
And a guy like Carol Lewis was creating shots for him.
Just sort of hold serve, beat the teams they're supposed to beat, maybe drop a couple they're not supposed to beat. The Razorbacks doing a good job with such a new team, bunch of transfers for Eric Musselman, of course.
Pretty good hustle back by the Gamecocks, but Shackelford still finished it.
They try to go inside of Levesque from a bad angle. Another chance for Bama to run. 3-on-1. Shackelford.
So Providence long term, they'll exit Asheville. 1 and 2, the alley-oop. Jones came up just short. Check that, Bruner.
But another defense of Alabama.
They've been a rough start for Keon Brooks. He's not on the floor right now. He's 1 for 6. Davion Mintz is 2 for 8. There's a turnover.
Yeah, that's not an Apple turnover, and I love Apple turnovers. Carl.com, and you get an autographed copy of any book you want. I got a number of books there. Just go to dickvitale.com. I'll autograph the book any way you want me to write it, and I will take care of it for you.
Boston.
I'm rooting for Boston. I want to see Boston really become the player. People have told me, coaches, how good he can be.
Minute, you mentioned, and I think most people agree, if you could have a team get older, they get better, obviously. Kentucky's made a living with 5-star.
Guarded by Jones. Gets by him. Jones playing with a back injury, still dealing with it. Here's Petty now. Well, every SEC matchup has been a mad matchup for Alabama's opponents. 1-on-9. And now Lenardi's got 6 SEC teams in the mix.
Where he's comfortable, which is in the lane. He is, Flanagan, really comfortable playing in traffic.
He's got 16, 4 Tigers in double figures. His lips through the mask. And envision exactly what he's saying.
The other day, he said, I'm not really a swearer, but I do swear occasionally. Translated, that means I swear a lot.
Ball fake and a foul.
You mentioned seniors. Herb Jones made the right pass on the drive. Then when he got it back, he took his time.
For him to be really just after his Detroit Romulus high school days. I mean, that was the system he had there, and it's followed him in a successful way everywhere he's been.
Primo, Jones trailing. Florida's in a 3-2 zone alignment, and on one pass, they give up a wide open three.
There's another turnover and an Alabama run out.
Stepping up to the challenge and making sure his guys are prepared to come out and perform well tonight.
Brewer lost the basketball. Alabama turns over the Bucks. Now Bruner gets it right down low, and a foul.
Herb Jones whoop you in every hustle stat again this year. I mean, doesn't that bother you a little bit? Even if you don't like diving on the floor, doesn't it bother you that you're getting your tail beat by Herb Jones every?
And had to play against Latrell Sprewell,